I get it. Scrolling through endless listings, you see a gorgeous rattan dining set that looks like it belongs on a glossy magazine spread, and you picture it in your backyard, but then the first time you actually bring one home it feels cheap, the cushions sag, the table wobbles, and the whole vibe just falls flat. That's the nightmare most of us try to dodge, especially when we're spending a decent chunk of money on a set that's supposed to last through rain, sun, and the occasional backyard barbecue mishap. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So before you click add to cart, let's walk through the real-world experience of the Purple Leaf 14-piece outdoor dining set, see who it actually serves, and figure out if it's worth the price tag or just another pretty face. First off, the set comes as a full package, a rectangular table, 6 chairs, 2 benches, and a set of cushions that promise soft comfort. The biggest draw in the listing is the premium material claim. They're advertising a mix of woven rattan and teak accents. In practice, the rattan is a synthetic resin that mimics the look of natural wicker while being resistant to UV fading. That's a solid win if you've ever watched a natural wicker set turn brittle after a summer of harsh sun. The teak accents are actually a veneer rather than solid wood, but because they're only decorative edge pieces, the visual impact is still quite classy without adding a lot of weight. Now, imagine you've just set this up on a concrete patio that gets a decent amount of sun but also gets a light drizzle in the evenings. The assembly is straightforward. The table legs slot into pre-drilled holes, the chairs and benches have simple screw-in brackets, and everything comes with a short Allen key and clear instructions. Most people I've spoken with say they can get the whole set together in under an hour, which is a huge plus if you're not a DIY enthusiast. The downside? The screws are all the same length, so if you're not careful you can over-tighten and strip the plastic inserts. That's a minor annoyance, but it's something you'll want to watch for when you're tightening the final bolts. The cushions are the part that people talk about the most because they're the only soft element in a set that's otherwise made of hard materials. They're filled with a high-density foam that holds shape reasonably well, and the cover fabric is a polyester blend that's labeled water-resistant. In my own weekend test, I left a few plates of chilled watermelon on the table, knocked over a glass of lemonade, and the spills soaked into the cushion but didn't soak through to the seat frame. I wiped it off with a damp cloth and the stain went away, which tells me the cushion cover does its job for occasional spills. However, after a couple of weeks of sun exposure, the edges of the cushion fabric started to feel a little stiff, a sign that the UV blocking treatment isn't as robust as the rattan weave. If you plan to leave the set out year-round, you might want to invest in a simple outdoor fabric spray or a storage cover for the winter months. One of the biggest concerns with any outdoor set is stability, especially when you're putting plates, pitchers, and a heavy grill nearby. The table itself is a generous 72 inches long and sits on a sturdy metal frame beneath the rattan surface. In real life, it held up to a full spread of a family dinner. Think a large salad bowl, a casserole, a couple of pitchers, and even a small portable grill tucked on the side. There was no wobble, and the legs didn't bow under the weight. That said, the set's overall footprint is fairly large, so you need a decent amount of space. If your patio is narrow or you have a tight square layout, you might find the benches and chairs crowd the area, making movement around the table feel cramped. Who should really consider this set? If you have a medium to large patio or garden space and you love entertaining, think weekend brunches, evening wine sessions, or family gatherings, the Purple Leaf set gives you a stylish, cohesive look without the need to hunt for matching chairs or benches. The ergonomic design of the seats, with a slight curve, makes it more comfortable than a straight-back plastic chair, and the soft cushions add a touch of lounge-grade comfort that you don't get on most budget sets. It also works well for people who appreciate a modern aesthetic that leans toward natural textures. The rattan look plus teak accents blend nicely with both minimalist and more rustic outdoor decor. On the flip side, if you live in a very small balcony, or if you're looking for a set you'll store away for most of the year, this might not be the best pick. The sheer size of the 14-piece arrangement means you'll need to commit to a permanent spot or find a sizable storage solution during the off-season.